Hi guys, welcome to Bookish Shayla. This is going to be my January wrap-up. Now, a lot of these layouts you have seen in my weekly wrap-ups for my product focus, but in this one I'm going to just talk a little bit more about it, and there are some layouts that I did for other things. I think I did 36 layouts this month, and I will also at the end tell you about the books I read, because I think I read like 4 books, which is quite a few for me. So let's get started. My first layout was for my, I used this sketch here. It was a scrap a sketch from last year. It was actually one of the December Scrap Fest challenges. I didn't do the challenge, but I did the sketch there. It was for my Bramble Fox product focus. This was the first layout I did. I used some Chatterbox, 3 Bugs in a Rug, and stash papers. All these were stash papers that I used. This picture is of me and my daughter on her senior trip this past year. It will go in that. Oh, sorry, that was my Kindle telling me it was on. It will go into that album. I also used some Freckled Fawn labels and some the chipboard. Let's try that again. I'm sorry. This ephemera was from the scrap room kit, and then everything else I pulled from my color binders. So that was the first one I did, using up a bunch of old stuff. The second one I did was for a Baby Got Scraps YouTube hop. And so there is a process video on this one. I don't think there's a process video on that first one. It may have been, but I just don't think there was. Anyway, this is hot off the press paper and hot off the press little metallic ephemera here. Bramble Fox. This was for my Bramble Fox product focus again. A cut file that said Cityscapes that I added some mixed media on, and then I cut with my die cut some film strips and some viewfinders that I tucked around. And this is New York City in 2014, and that's the album it will go in. Next up was this Scrap a Sketch Fest sketch. Again, I didn't do the challenge. I just did the sketch and I turned it. And it used Vicky Bouton Fernwood. Pretty much everything on here except I had a cut file that I colored, and these were my Bramble Fox pieces for my product focus that day. And I used some mixed media, and I colored these with the Vicky Bouton watercolors even. So that's what this one was. Oh, and this picture is, I'm sorry, hold on. I'm trying to do too many things at one time. This is a photo of my college campus in the spring of 2020. And so it will go in my 2020 layout, my 2020 scrapbook. Next up is this Sketches in Time sketch, and it has a YouTube video. The paper is Daisy D. The picture is from my son's senior trip in 2019, so that's the book it will go in. I used some 49 and Market stickers, the epoxy stickers, and then some stickers from my stash. The ephemera was all from my stash. There's the Bramble Fox that I used. And then I did some sprinkles, some splatters with Lindy's Starburst spray. Oh, and I used a doily punch for my doilies there. Next up is this Sweet as Can Be. It was a scrap lift from Scrap Squad. Here's the scrap lift, or here's the original. And here's my page. The picture is my daughter, a selfie back in 2019, so it will go in my 2019 book. It used some photo play paper, some close to my heart paper, some crate paper, these were mostly scraps that I used. There were a few that weren't scraps, but a lot of them were. I used some old K & Company stickers. I used the this was one of the things that I used, this April cut apart, my Bramble Fox acrylic pieces, the color cast design, Spring Vibes was up here. I used some Nouveau drops for embellishing, and this will, like I said, will go in my 2019 book. Next up is another scrap lift. This is from a January Scrap Squad scrap lift. I think it's either I think it's Paper Issues. In one place I have Scrap Squad, and in one place I have a Paper Issues, and so I can't remember for sure. But this was for the product. Was this? Oh, this was a Baby Got Scraps video. So there is a process video on this. There's some P13 wood grain paper, some Close to My Heart balloon ride paper, some Not Just for Boy Kit Club labels here and here, a cut apart that I had from my stash, some Scrap and Happy Studio canvas flare, a doily that I had from my stash, some flat back pearls, a color cast design wood veneer, Close to My Heart ribbon, and yeah, I think that's what. Then this is my niece, and so it will go in her album, her 2021 album. My great niece, actually. This is another picture for my great niece's album. This was for the Get in Shape YouTube hop, so there is a process video on this one. I used some Deja Vu paper, and then the rest were scraps from a paper pad. Pretty much all my embellishments came from my color binder. And then I had the Bramble Fox title and sunglasses, and I used a circle punch for all these because the shape for the Get in Shape YouTube hop was circles. I have something stuck on the back of it. Okay, next up was this, and it was, it was my sticker product focus, because these are a bunch of the stickers that I use down here. This is some Bo Bunny paper and some Cartabella paper. The stickers were all from my stash. The ephemera is Bella Boulevard, all this. This was some swap pieces, the title and the photo mat, and then some Scrap and Happy Studio epoxy flare. And this is for my 2014 album. That's my daughter there with a bunch of her friends just goofing around. This was a paper issue sketch. That's the sketch. It was a challenge. I was I think I was just cropping with some friends online, and one of them issued a grab 5 challenge, and I can't remember what the grab 5 things. Oh, it was to grab 5 things on your desk and use them. So if I remember correctly, I grabbed, let me think. I grabbed the Bramble Fox, the color cast design, the epoxy, or the canvas flare, the 49 and Market tickets, and maybe the ribbon. That may have been it. I can't remember for sure, but it was a grab 5. This wood veneer paper is from a P13 paper pad. This paper here was from Photo Play, and my tags was a Photo Play paper. The stickers, these stickers and these stickers were also Photo Play. This one came from my color binder. I had a couple of Freckle Fawn labels. Oh, I bet that was the fifth one, was the Freckle Fawn label. Some 49 and market tickets, some canvas flare, some bramble fox, some color cast design, some close to my heart ribbon. I used a Hit Kit Club stencil and some stencil butter, and then some Distress spray. I showed you the sketch. This was a the paper and the photo play paper and stickers came from the scrap room kit, and this is a picture from my son's senior trip. We were on the dock at Coco Cay, and so this will go in the 2019 senior trip album. Life is Good is another great niece page, so it will go in her album. This was a Baby Got Scrap layout. It was also a Scrap a Sketch Fest sketch that I just used the sketch and not the challenge. The paper was an old close to my heart called Sophia. The stickers were some Heidi Stop stickers, some My Mind's Eye stickers, and some Paige Evans stickers. They were just a variety. This was for my sticker product focus. I had some flair that I can't remember for sure where I got it. I think it may have been some assemblage required, but I'm not 100% sure. I have a Bramble Fox title. I have some flat back pearls, and yeah, I think that's it on that one. Next up, this was my product focus of stickers. I used this sketch. It's a Scrap a sketch, but I found it at the Scrappy Square Facebook group. This is me with our very first crumble cookies in 2020, so that's the album it will go in. This is some hot off the press paper. The button stickers were my product focus, and they were from Hit Kit Club, and I also added some dazzles from hot off the press. The wood veneer heart buttons are from hot off the press. I had some trim. This is a pear tree cut file, and I think that's it on this one. I don't think this one had a process video. This one has a process video because it was a Baby Got Scraps layout. This is a Scrap Squad scrap lift. So that's the Scrap Squad scrap lift. This was again for my sticker product focus. And these stickers here are the ones that I use. I have all different kinds of paper. Most of them were from a stash. DCWV was this one and this one. And then Kaiser Craft was this. And then Chatterbox was this. And then Blue Fern Studio. Maybe that was Kaiser Craft. And maybe this was Blue Fern Studio. I bet that's it. That's Kaiser Craft. That's Blue Fern Studios. The stickers, the clear ones, were Deja Vu. Then I had some a Paige Evans one. I had some Amy Tangerine. That was the hearts and the X's and O's. I had some rub-ons from a company called Glitz. The basil border strips. These jewel brads. And like I said, it was a Baby Got Scraps layout. Oh, and this is from 2012, and it will go in my 2012 album. I think it's my 2012 album. Next up is this picture of my son dressed goofy. There is a whole big story behind it, and that's what I actually did quite a bit of journaling, quite a bit for me. This was for the sticker product challenge. I used a close to my heart collection called Florentine. Sorry, I was listening. I thought somebody was coming in. Close to My Heart Florentine, some Dazzles, hot off the press Dazzles, some 7 Gypsy stickers. That's what all the words were 7 Gypsy stickers. Some Scrappin' Happy Studio Canvas Flare, a cut file from my stash that I colored with Lindsay Starburst spray, this Adore card. I don't remember where. It's a Jenny Bolin card. And then I have some stamping that was a Ciao Bella stamp. And this will go in my 2016 album. This was a Scrappy Square sketch that came from Scrap-A-Sketch. And I turned it. This is how I used it. And the pattern paper was from my stash. The stickers, this was also a sticker product focus. These were just from my stash. And then these wooden stickers were from Hit Kit Club. I have some 49 and Market tickets tucked in places, and some color cast designs here and here. Some Yes Please Flare, a felt flower that was from my stash, some buttons that were from my stash. The ribbon back here was from my stash. I used some splatters from Shimmer and Nuvo. And this picture is of my daughter showing or modeling her Make It With Wool outfit back in 2016, and it will go in my 2016 album. Next up is this sketch from the Scrappy Square. Again, I turned it like this. This was for the sticker product focus. I used some Bo Bunny stickers here, and then these epoxy were SEI stickers, and then these tags were P stickers, and then I used some stickers from my stash. The paper was hot off the press. I used some Scrappy Happy Studio epoxy flare. And this was my son and a girl that he dated in college in 2021. And that's the album it will go in. Next, I have it's a Baby Got Scraps and a Get in Shape layout. So there is a process video. The shape was chevron. So I took a Heidi Swap stencil and some Distress Oxide inks, and I made a rainbow chevron background. Then I took some hot off the press papers, and I think there was one other one. Oh, some of these are this here was a Chamel paper that I had cut out. I have a Hit Kit Club wood veneer sticker, and then the ephemera was from hot off the press, and the book club acrylic is from Color Cast Designs. This is me and part of my book club in 2023, and that's the book it will go in. This was a product focus of 49 and Market. This is 49 and Market Alina. The cardstock this was actually on cardstock, and then I covered it with the washi tape or the fabric tape. There's also chipboard and tags and rub-ons and some American Craft twine. And I used a Close to My Heart shimmer pin. This is a selfie of my daughter in 2021, and it will go in my 2021 album. Oh, and this was, yeah. Sorry, I thought it was something else, but it wasn't. This one is for my other great niece's album. It was again 49 and Market product focus. I used the Spectrum Gardenia, and I used the laser cuts and the chipboard and the bubbles and baubles. Then I had these chipboard alphabet that I helped spell out the title, and I had some Scrappy Happy Studio epoxy flare, and then I used some Heidi Swap Color Shine for the background, and this will go in my niece's album. This was also 49 and Market product focus. This is the 49 and Market Avesta, and I used some chipboard and some rub-ons, and I have a little bit of oh, I forgot to, this is a paper issue sketch, and in the corners they had some other paper, and so I tore the corners and put some cardstock from my stash back there. But then the rest, like I said, were chipboards and rub-on and some Nuvo Sparkle Spray splatters, and this was my daughter showing in 2014, and it will go in my 2014 book. Next up was this. It's also a Scrap-A-Sketch, but I found it on the Scrappy Square Facebook page. This was a Baby Got Scrapped, so there is a YouTube video for this, and it has a bunch of, again, I just got scraps out of my binder or my scrap boxes. So I have some fancy pants, some little yellow bicycles, some simple stories, and some we are memory keepers. That's all the different papers I had. Then the chipboard is fancy pants, not that, there, and there. That's all fancy pants. And then Scrappin' Happy Studio canvas flare, some American Crafts twine, and then the splatters were used Dina Wakley gloss spray and Distress Mica stain. And these are pictures of Coco K on my son's senior trip, so that's the album it will go in. This was also $49 in Market. This is the Scrappy Square sketch that I used. This is $49 in Market Ocean, and then some Vicky Bouton and some Cartabella and some Alphabet Junction paper that were scraps. I used some 49 in Market laser cuts and some envelope bits and some acrylics, or acetate, I mean. I cut out some viewfinders here and here out with a die, and I used some thickers for the title. And these are my kids with their fair ribbons back in 2014, and so it'll go in my 2014 album. Another $49 in Market product focus, another paper issues sketch. This was the $49 in Market Spice collection. I used the ephemera, tickets, rub-ons, bubbles and baubles, some Scrappin' Happy Studio epoxy flare, some Scrappy Happy Studio canvas flare, and this is this is my niece giving a speech at beta induction in 2014, and that's the album it will go in. And I also did some Lindy's Starburst spray. Another $49 in Market product focus. This is using the Everywhere collection, and hold on. This is the sketch that I used. It was Scrap-A-Sketch 101. And the only $49 in Market paper I used was this one, the ticket one. And then I used scraps that matched. So I used some Creative Imagination, some October Afternoon, and seems like there was another one. October Afternoon. Oh, and then just a scrap that I didn't know where it came from. And then some $49 in Market ephemera and chipboard, some American Crafts twine, and Distressed Oxide spray for the background. This was our WOW trip back in 2013. That's my daughter in Alexandria, Virginia. So it will go in my WOW album. This was Sketches in Time. I don't know where it went. It was a Sketches in Time sketch, but I don't know where it is. No, this isn't. This is, I scrap lifted a Close to My Heart layout. And this was for the Iron Crafter YouTube hop. We had to stamp, and it was a Baby Got Scraps layout. So there is a process video for this. I used some Chamel stamps and some Close to My Heart ink for this part of the layout. And then this is Close to My Heart collection. And then I used some swap stuff And this was close to my heart. The gems were, or the glitter gems were close to my heart. And the chipboard was Freckled Fawn. And this is my daughter and her best friend in 2019, and it will go in my 2019 book. This is the Sketches in Time sketch. And here's the sketch. It was number 596. This was for my 49 and Market product focus. This was 49 and Market Spectrum Sherbert. And then I used two cardstock scraps for this part of it. And I used some 49 and Market chipboard, Bubbles and Bubbles, some Heidi Swap Color Shine. And this is my son and his cousin. They played on the same, this is his girl cousin, but they had to play on the same baseball team for a game. He wasn't old enough and she was a girl, and that's the story I told down here. And this will go in my 2014 album. Next up is a Baby Got Scraps video. So there is a process video, and I used this paper issue sketch. I also used the Scrap Room kit. This is some photo play paper that I punched out in circles and some photo play stickers. This was a product focus of my miscellaneous drawer, and these were rub-ons that I used. Some Scrappy Happy Studio Flair, some Nuvo drops, some stickers from the photo play. Is there anything else? I think that's it. This will go in my 2021 album, and this is my daughter and her best friend. That's the same girl from the other. This was also for the product focus of the random drawer, and this is the Scrappy Square sketch that I used, and it was a Scrap-A-Sketch. The product I used were these rub-ons here that were from Junkets that says Lipstick and Lashes. I used a paper pad stash for my papers. The stickers either came from this sticker, and this sticker were from my color binders. These stickers were Freckled Fawn. All the ephemera was Elle Studio. The enamel dots are Freckled Fawn. I also have some Bramble Fox acrylics, and the splatterings were Distress Mica Stains and Vibes. So, and this is my daughter and her two friends. They were getting ready for prom back in 2021, and it will go in my 2021 album. This was a Baby Got Scraps and a Get in Shape YouTube hop. So they were, it does have a process video. I did the shape hexagon. I actually did it the wrong week, but the shape was hexagon the next week, and I did it a week early. But so that was the sketch. The paper was Pro Player from Close to My Heart, and then this one was a scrap paper that I pulled. I have some Close to My Heart embellishments here, 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 and here. What else do I have? Oh, this, and this, and this was a hexagon punch. Creative Cuts Club cut file, the atom and the beaker. Shadney wood veneer. I colored these with some Close to My Heart ink, and the hexagon stamps were Not Just for Boys. And this is my daughter and her cousin doing a science project back in 2019, and it will be in my 2019 album. And this was supposed to, hold on. I used this sketch from the Scrappy Square. I was like, I know I used this sketch for that. This, was Christmas in January and Baby Got Scraps. So it has a process video. The papers were Close to My Heart, Berry Christmas, and the glitter, the red glitter, the white stars, and the enamel dots were all from the same collection. Then I used some Nicole Jones digital cut files, and some Elle Studio chipboard stickers. And this is my son at Christmas or decorating for Christmas in 2018, and it will go in my 2018 book. Next up, this was the sketch I used. It's a paper issue sketch. This was for the product focus of the random drawer stuff, and I used these basil strip border strips. That was my product. The paper came from, where did the paper come from? Photoplay Mud on the Tires. I don't know that I actually used paper from there. I don't think any of this is actually the paper from there. Oh, yes. No? Yes, this one. This was Photoplay Mud on the Tires. This was DCWV Out in the Wild. This, the plaid and the border, was the Paper Studios I'd Rather Be Hunting. Or it may be the other way around. I have some Jolie's Boutique stickers, some Photoplay embellishments, and some Scrappy Happy Studio flair. And yeah, this is my husband and his dad hunting back in 2021 in Colorado. And so that's being my 2021 album. This was a Baby Got Scrapped, so it does have a process video, and it's the Scrappy Square sketch here. I used some old KI Memories paper and embellishments. This ephemera here is from there. I used some Freckle Fawn chipboard embellishments and wood veneer, and the product focus was these transparencies from my random drawer, and then some Fancy Pants enamel dots, some KI Memory alphabet stickers, and this is my daughter skiing and being on the lake in 2014, and it will go in my 2014 album. Next up, Scrap-A-Sketch number 99. The product focus, my random drawer, and it was this transparency that says beauty comes from within. The paper was hot off the press. I have some hot off the press dazzles. That's what this copper things are. Some Freckled Fawn puffy hearts, and some crocheted ribbon from my stash. This metallic flower was from my stash. This wood veneer was from my stash. And this is my daughter, a selfie of my daughter in 2021, so it will go in my 2021 album. We're almost there, guys. Just a few more. This was a Scrap Squad scrap lift. There's the original. The product was these rub-ons from Daisy D. Is that right? Yeah, Daisy D rub-ons. The paper and embellishments, or paper and ephemera, were a scrap room kit, and they were from Fancy Pants Enchanted Garden. And then I added some P13 wood veneer and some Scrap and Happy Studio canvas flair, and some of the one of those basil borders, and then some splatters from Lindy's Starburst spray. And yeah. Oh, this is my son and daughter in 2015, so it'll go in my 2015 album. Another paper issue sketch. Mine went like this, though. This is the product focus were these two butterflies and this flower from my random drawer. The paper is, the back paper here is We Are Memory Keepers, and then this paper is hot off the press, and then all the ephemera is hot off the press, and some Spellbinder pearls and some twill and ribbon from my stash. This is Felicity Jane, this tab, and this is my daughter. My mom and I took my daughter to see the ballet Cinderella, and this in 2014, so it will go in my 2014 album. We're almost done. Then This was for the Get in Shape YouTube hop. The shape was supposed to be hexagons, but I did that the week before, so I did the week before shape, which was triangles. This was a scrap lift from Paper Issues, but I didn't print it out. The paper is Close to My Heart, Central Park, and then the stickers and sequins and vellum are also from there. These stickers were Pink Fresh Studios. I used a Studio Grunge stamp and Close to My Heart inks for the background. Color Cast Design wood veneer. Anything else? Some Close to My Heart shimmer, shimmer brush, and Heidi Swap Color Shine. And there is a YouTube video, a process video on this one. And this is my daughter and I getting ready to go prom dress shopping last year. So it will go in my 2023 album. And my last layout, my product focus this week is travel. And so this is my first layout I've done. I've had a family emergency and had to be gone a couple of days. So I've only done one layout so far this week. But this is using the Pink Fresh Out and About paper and stickers, and then and ephemera, the tag, and the enamel dots. Those are all Pink Fresh Studio. And then I did some Fawnees and Ninth acrylic pieces. So the vacay and the airplane and the geotag and the arrows are from Fawnees on Ninth, which is an Etsy store. And then some American Craft twine and some wild hair flare. And this was also a paper issue sketch, but I didn't get it printed. And these pictures are from my New York City trip back in 2014. So those are all my, like I said, I think it's 36 layouts. I did want to also share with you the books that I read. So let me get them out. For my book club, I read The Overnight Guest, and it's a thriller, and it was good. I gave it 4 stars. I guessed, I knew there wasn't really a twist in to me, it wasn't a twist. If there was a twist, I had it all figured out. It was really good. I have learned that I have a hard time in thrillers where children are involved, and one is involved, actually 3, because there's a dual timeline, and I just kind of have a problem with that. So, but I still gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. I had started this book in November. It was my school book. We read for 10 minutes every morning or every class period. So I read also. This was my school book, and it took me a long time to read. I only gave it 3 stars. It's called The Bookshop of Yesterdays by Amy Meyerson. My problem with it is it didn't need to be this long. It just kept going on and on and on. I liked the premise. I liked how it ended, but it was just too long, and there was no reason for it in my mind for it to be so long. So it only got 3. The other 2 I read, well, let's see. I don't know if you can see it. This is called I Must Betray You, and I actually listened to it. I have the physical copy, but I borrowed the audio from my library, and I gave it 4 stars. It's a young adult historical fiction by Ruta Sepetys. It was really good. It was about Romania in the 90s, like when the wall was about to come down. So late 80s and 90s, or not the wall, but when communism was falling. And wow, I learned so much from this book. So it was really good. And then the other one I read it's an ARC. It's called The Couple in 5B. I gave it was probably 3.5, but it reminded me so much of a Riley Sager book that I read a few years ago. And every time I picked it up, that's all I kept thinking about, was how it just reminded me too much. It's set in an old apartment building in New York City, and weird things happen there, and it just reminded me so much of the Riley Sager book that I couldn't give it more than 3 stars. So And this won't come out until March. Now I am almost finished with listening to The Boys in the Boat, and that is for my buzzword book. But like I said, I have about 2 hours left. I'm listening to it. So I would like to finish it by the end of the month, but it's going to be kind of a close call. So we'll see. But thank you guys. I know this is kind of a longer video. My wrap-ups always are. But thank you for joining me. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.